Okay, so good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all other amateur radio operators all over the world who's watching this video. My name is Kim. My call sign is Delta Sierra 4 Whiskey Oscar Foxtrot, DS4WF from South Korea. So today I'm gonna be demonstrating how to operate this little radio here. It has been very famous among the ham radio operators that you can modify the firmware. You can put like the custom firmware and stuff so that you can add like, tons of functionalities into the radio, such as HF receptions and SDR like band scope and so many other functionalities. So the firmware I'm gonna be using this time is made by Fox for Hotel Whiskey November. And I found the firmware is very stable and works the best for this radio, so you can find a link for the firmware in the description. So yeah, let's get started. So the first one that I'm gonna be showing you is about the keypads on it. So by pressing this one, you can change the settings and exit, and also you can increase or decrease the frequency by pressing these arrow keys. And also you can type the frequency you want by pressing the number pads here. Alright, and also you can see here the F button, which is used to change the quick settings. So for example, if you want to change the power output, then you press F and the 6, you can see the label here next to the number. So you press it and we just change the power output. And if you want to change between the VFO A and V, you change this one like so by pressing F and a 2. And if you want to change between memory mode and frequency mode, you just press number 3 with F and it will change between them. So that is the basics for the keypads. And the second thing that I'm going to be showing you is about the settings. So to go to the settings, you just have to press the M key here, and we'll go to the settings, and you can see tons of settings here. You can scroll through the settings by pressing the arrow keys, and there are a total of 67 settings, but I'm not going to go through everything, just a few settings that is important for the operation, right? So first thing you see is the step, and you can see the the step is set to 1 kHz, but if you want to change that, you press the M button again and you can change the step. So press the arrow key to increase or decrease the step. So let's say I want 10 kHz step, then you set it to 10 kHz and press the M button again and exit, and you can see it's increasing by 10 kHz, right? So the next thing is the power, and for the power output, especially for this firmware, it has 5 low power settings, which is 20 milliwatts, and 125, 250, 500, and 1 watts. So if you want like a QRP operation, then you can set to 250 or 125 milliwatts. So it's very useful for QRP. And of course you can set it to maximum high power settings, which is 5 watts. And if you are okay with this, just press M key to accept, right? And the next thing is that about the TX CTCSS. So this is usually the tone scorch. If that has a DCS, you can change it from here, like so. CTCSS, you can set whatever the frequency of CTCSS tone in here. So most commonly they use 88.5 Hz. So you can, if the repeater uses the tone of 88.5 Hz, you can actually set it. And again, press the M key again to accept, right? Now do the same for the DCS. So there should be the specific code that require from the repeater. So yeah, set whatever the code you want. And now the TX direction. So from these settings, you can set the direction for the shift. So whether you want a minus shift or plus shift or just the simplex, you know. So mostly them I use the minus shift. So just set to whatever the shift they require and accept. And here you can set the offset. So these two are the pairs. So it would be basically minus and the offset. Or if it's plus, then it would be plus 0.6 megahertz or something like that. And here also you can change the offset frequency. So just start typing like 500, something like that. Or if that has for example, like crossband repeaters, like reception is in UHF and TX is on VHF. In that case, just type like the frequency they require, like for example minus 273, so 273, 000, then yeah, that's it. So it would be basically minus or plus, something like that. So the next setting is about the wide and narrow, the bandwidth. So you can change between narrow and wide. Actually, I don't see any difference for the audio quality or something, but it's bandwidth becomes slightly bigger when you set to wide. So next thing is the modulation, and you can change between FM, USB, and AM. And yes, of course, this has the airband reception. So in that case, you can set to AM to receive airbands. Now the next setting I'm going to be showing you is the TX timeout, transmit timeout. So it's very, very important for protection for the radio. So basically, you can change the time by pressing the arrow keys. So I recommend setting like maximum 2 minutes. If you transmit more than that, then it might actually overheat and fry your radio. So, you know, it's a cheap radio, so you might not worry about that, but I still recommend to set these settings by default. So next thing is about the scorch. You can change it 0 to all the way up to 9. This is highest scorch settings. But if there's a big noise or QRMs, then you might have to set it a little bit higher, somewhere around 3 or 4. But still, for most cases, 1 is enough. And the next thing is a little bit of customization. So here you can see in the 25th settings, you can see the F1 short, F1 long, F2 short, and F2 long, and M long. What does that mean is that about these keys and the M key. So basically, I set F1 short means if you press this first key just a short time, and it will basically disable the scorch, which is the monitor. Oops. And also F1 long, when you long press this one, it will turn on the flashlight. And the F2 short means this button. When you short press it, it will change the modulation type. And if you long press that, it will just change between the wide and narrow. When you long press the M button, then it will basically change between VFO A and B. So you can actually customize them by going through all of this and change it whatever your preference is. Also, you can set this button to act as a tone burst, which is 1750 hertz of the scorch tone. So if you need that, and you can set it here. And here you can see the battery text that you can just set to none, and a %, which will display as a %, and the voltage. I personally prefer voltage, so I like this one. And the mic is a mic gain. If it's too loud, then you can decrease a little bit, but the mic gain is a little bit low, so I recommend you to set it to maximum. And the next thing I'm going to show you is the channel, like how do you save the memory or something like that. So yeah, first you just have to, for example, when you want to save the memory for the repeater, right? And you just have to type whatever the frequency and CTCSS, tone, and the shift and the direction, like you see, and then go to the 17th menu, and you can see the CH save, which is the channel save, and just decide which channel you want to save the specific frequency, right? So I want to save it in channel 10, right? Then just press this key to accept. Then you will say sure. Yes, I'm sure about that. And now it's saved. So you can see when you go to the memory mode, then in the channel 10, the specific frequency is saved. And if you want to delete it, you can delete the specific channel. And also you can specify the name for the channel. You press this one and select the channel, and you can, you know, give a name for the repeater or the specific channel, like so, you know. And if you want to put a bunch amount of the channels all at once, then you might have to use the chirp to program this radio. So yeah, that's how you can manage the settings. So the next thing I want to show you is about the band scope mode, which is really cool feature that is implemented here in this firmware. So it's more like a SDL kind of software. So yeah, you just have to press F and 5 and you see a screen like this, which is really similar to the actual SDR software. So yep, you can basically see the frequency and the signal strength, the modulation, and the frequency range that it captures. So yeah, you can basically scroll through the frequency by pressing the arrow keys like this. And also you see there's a little dotted line here. It's actually a scorch, so you can press F and start to decrease and increase the scorch. So just press this and it will decrease the scorch and increase the scorch, right? And also you can increase and decrease the range that it captures the frequency by pressing 1, 4, and 7. So like so, and you see the frequencies, the range is increasing. It's basically zooming in and out. Okay, so now if you want to go to a specific frequency that you want, and you just have to press 5 and type the frequency you want. Let's say some kind of airband, 1 to 1.600, and you type it and press menu button to accept. And we basically go to the airband or whatever the frequency band you typed in. Here you can see the modulation is still in FM, but you know the airband, they use the AM. So in that case, you can press in the keypad the 0 button, and it will basically change the modulation to AM, right? So that you can receive the airband frequencies. And in case you want to receive the HF bands, and again, you go to the 5, you press 5 and type some of the HF band, let's say 150, right? And you can go to this one, but still the modulation is still in AM, and you press the 0 again to change to USB. But still, you can see that even though you type the frequency that you want, like 28.150, but it doesn't really like to go to the specific frequency. The reason for that is that you see here's a little marker here. It's the frequency that is tuned in, and it's trying to find the highest peak for the frequency, you know. So like the highest signal strength. That's a little bit of a problem, but still there's a solution for that. It's just in case you want to monitor a certain frequency for a long time, then you can actually press PTT to lock the frequency This can be used when you found the frequency you want somewhere here. Let's say this frequency, that you press PTT to lock it, and you can adjust the various settings like LNA and stuff. I don't know what this settings actually do, but it does make change. And you can also change the modulation and stuff, and the scorch you can see like that. But also in this mode, you can again press number 5. Then you can also type the frequency you want. Let's say I want 128 and 150, and press this one. And see, you can see the frequency is locked to the specific frequency you type. So you can keep on monitoring this frequency, right? So yeah, that's how you operate the band scope mode. And now I want to show you how to unlock the frequency. Normally you cannot transmit out of the band. Like see, you can transmit on the VHF 144 to 146, and also the UHF, oh sorry, let me just, so you can transmit on the UHF and VHF, but still you cannot really transmit on the other bands, like for example PMR, somewhere like 454, maybe like somewhere above 440. Yeah, it says TX disabled. And of course in like somewhere like somewhere HF, let's say 028, yep, you cannot transmit also. But sometimes also you want to have a QSO on 6 meters, like 50 megahertz, then, but still you cannot transmit. So I'll show you how to unlock the frequency. But before we do that, if we unlock the frequency, it's unlocking like every single frequency that is available. So except for certain frequencies like airband and the cell phone frequencies. So make sure you don't violate the wireless communication laws or something like that. So yeah, anyways, to do that, you just have to turn off the radio and hold down the PTT and the first button here. So hold it down at the same time like this and turn on the radio. Now you can see here it will go to the something like a service mode or something. It's like a hidden menu. So just keep scrolling, and then in the 68 menu you can see F lock, which is the frequency locking, so you can basically go through that one and then set whatever the the frequency range that you want to transmit. So depending on your region, like UK and Central European and Canada and FCC, whatever it is. And so by default in my region, this is the frequency that we are allowed to transmit in. So for the VHF, and to unlock it, you just have to keep scrolling it until it says unlock all, and you press the menu button to accept. But it says read manual, so basically you just have to go through that again, locate this unlock all, and keep repeating that process like 2 or 3 times, and we eventually say unlock all. Then now you are allowed to transmit in every band. But be careful, like I said before, that you might get into trouble if you transmit in unauthorized band. So make sure you don't violate any international law and wireless communication laws. So now you can see there's no any the lock icon. So now you can transmit like this in a 50 megahertz. Even you can transmit on 28 megahertz like that. And you can also transmit somewhere in the PMR band, like maybe like 445, something like that. And also this goes up to the 1 gigahertz band, so you can also transmit on that band. To do that, you just have to press like 999999, and then you will basically go to 1000, which is the 1 gigahertz band. You can type the frequency you want, like 1200 something something something, and you transmit. But make sure you also have the correct antenna for the right frequency. Otherwise, if you just use the default antenna for this, the SWR value will be very high, so it might fry your radio. So be careful with that. And again, make sure you have a permission to transmit on these frequencies, so that you don't get in trouble, right? And again, you are not allowed to transmit on airbands unless, in any way. So even though you unlock the frequency, it's still disabled, right? So that's how you can unlock the frequency. So yeah, that's all about the operation guide for this Quansheng radio. I hope you find it interesting and useful. If you have any questions or doubt, or if there's any mistakes that I made, feel free to leave a comment down below in the comment section so that I can check it out and correct that mistake. So 7 series for now, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.